Being a police officer is not easy. We have to get into those situations where normal people will run away from. One particular incident that happened to me reminds just that. I had just joined police force at the time, and during my initial weeks I was given night shifts. I was okay with it since ours is a safe neighborhood and nothing much happens here at night. Once, I was asked by the headquarters to also patrol a nearby highway passing through the outskirts of our town. No problem, I thought. The highway was also quiet at this hour. Very few cars went past me during my entire ride there. I was about to pass a rest stop. While passing through it, I saw a car parked there. I slowed my car just enough to see that there was no one in the car. That was strange. The rest stop was at an isolated spot with no washroom or anything around it where the driver could have gone. It was suspicious enough for me to decide stopping a little away from the spot where the car was parked and look for the man driving the car. As I was about to get down, a car came from the opposite direction and entered the rest stop. He saw me in my car. I waited near my car, keeping a close eye on the stop. Suddenly, I heard a scream, and I saw the man who entered the rest stop running back towards my car. I asked him about the scream, and he said, just as he got down from his car, someone screamed from the direction of the woods. As he had seen me before entering the stop, he came back to me instead of going in himself. I asked him to stay near my car and went to check what was going on. I knew it might not be a one man job, so I called for backup and also an ambulance just in case someone was actually injured. I made my way towards the woods and called for anyone who needs help. No answer. I was pretty deep in the woods and was going to head back when I heard shuffling noises behind some bushes. I had my gun pointed towards the bushes and went closer. As I made my way around the corner of the bushes, I saw two men crouched down trying to hide. One of them had a sharp knife in his hand. He would have attacked me easily if I did not have a gun pointed at him. Thankfully, the backup I asked for arrived at the same time, and the man who was waiting near my car led them to the direction I went. Those two men were arrested, and as it turns out, the suspicious car parked in the rest stop belonged to one of them. Apparently, they had seen me passing through the rest stop and had thought that I had gone, and hence continued with their plan. The scream I heard was a part of their plan to lure unsuspecting people coming into the woods to look for anyone who needs help and then robbing them and even possibly killing them if they resisted. I just thank God that I happened to be passing that rest stop when they were carrying out their plan and had the gut feeling to stop instead of ignoring it. I was in my police car with my partner Drake patrolling through the city as usual. I received a call from dispatch that a few college students have reported suspicious activities taking place at an abandoned house at the corner of the city. Apparently, they went in to do urban exploration, kids that age think is a cool thing to do. They did not find that place vacant as they saw some suspicious activity going on and reported it to the police. I thought it was just a bunch of homeless people living in an abandoned house. But since dispatch had asked us to check the place, we had to. We were very close to the place and hence took us only a minute or two to reach there. It was an old house with its wooden structure so old that we were having second thoughts entering that place. We were really not sure if that place will be able to handle our weight. Nevertheless, we entered through the main door. The house was in ruins. It was a miracle that the wooden structure had not collapsed even after decaying so badly. We had no intentions of staying longer in that house, so we scanned all the rooms as fast as possible. It was completely vacant. We thought maybe those students were lying or they called us without actually there being any activity in the house. Only two rooms remained to be searched and we went near the first room. Surprisingly, the door was locked. At first, we thought that the door must be jammed due to years of no use, but suddenly Drake noticed an orange glow coming through the gap between the door and the floor. We instinctively had our guns in our hand and tried breaking down that door. It was not hard bringing down that door. The moment we entered the room, our jaws dropped. There were candles lit all around the room. This room was completely clean, unlike other rooms. But the most disturbing thing was the pentagon that was drawn on the floor. It did not take more than a second to realize what was going on. We suddenly realized that there was one more room to be searched. We went to the room and saw bed sheets and empty food containers lying across the room. It was obvious that more than one person was staying at the house. These people were a part of some cult which used this house to perform satanic rituals. We were shocked and were about to inform dispatch about what we saw when, from the corner of my eye, I noticed someone standing at the window. I quickly turned around, and the person standing at the window ran towards the woods. I told Drake about this, and we quickly ran outdoors to try and catch him. We, however, did not find anyone. These people were living in their house for many days and maybe vacated when they saw us approaching. This discovery was disturbing enough for the authorities to decide to raise the house down. A few years have passed since this incident happened, and I still have not come across anything as disturbing as the things we found at that house. This incident happened 4 or 5 years ago. I don't remember exactly. It was a sunny day, and I was about to end my shift when I received a call from dispatch about a possible break in a nearby area. Dispatch had received a call from an elderly lady about a suspicious looking man circling around her neighbor's house who happened to be out of town. She had also called him to ask about any visitors coming to his house, to which he replied that he did not expect anyone. So she called us, and it was now our responsibility to look into the matter. We went to the address we were given, and sure enough, the door was open. We announced our arrival and asked anyone who is in the house to come out by themselves. No answer. We started going through the rooms one by one. I checked each and every place where anyone could hide: closet, under the bed, behind curtains, everywhere. Still, no sign of anyone being in the house. We went to the first floor. There were two bedrooms right beside one another. My partner went in one room and I went in another. I searched and found no one. I just stayed silent for a moment and tried to figure out if there was any other place to hide. It was a quiet neighborhood and there was pin drop silence in the room. As I was lost in my thoughts, I thought I could hear faint breathing from somewhere in the room. I saw my partner coming out of the room and I motioned at him to quietly come in the room I was in. He quickly understood what was going on and began searching the room as quietly as possible. Suddenly, something caught our attention. There was a vent right beside the bed. We looked at each other and knew straight away that that was the place we were looking for. I silently checked the vent and saw that it was open. I removed the cover and peeked in and saw a man in a hoodie staring right back at me. I yelled at him to come out with my partner pointing a gun at him. He did not have any other option as he was kind of stuck in the vent. When he came out, I checked the vent again to see if there was anyone else in with him while my partner handcuffed him. That man saw us entering the house and could not find any better place to hide than that small vent. The homeowner returned shortly, and as you could expect, he was grateful to us and that elderly lady for preventing a robbery at his house.